Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. Today, we're going to be reacting to The Fourth Branch, this suggested by Zeltron. So, thank you, Zeltron, for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. And like I told you guys before, if we don't see any more suggestions from somebody besides Zeltron, Immortal Technique, those Tuesdays, they're going to be turning into something else. So, let me know. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see what the fourth branch is all about. Let's see what Immortal Technique has to say. Let's get it.
The new age is upon us, and yet the past refuses to rest in its shallow grave. For those who hide behind the false image of the Son of Man shall stand before God.
Okay.
It has begun. The beginning of the end. Yeah.
Very solemn start. Thoughtful. Kind of sad, maybe. Kind of like a almost a conversational intro, but feels more like he's like an announcer almost, like he's talking to like a large crowd. And that echo was interesting, the way it really just kept pushing. But this is cool. Let's see where it goes from here.
Beginning of the end. Yeah. The voice of racism preaching the gospel is devilish, a fake church.
Yeah, that intro works really well, especially instrumentally. The way the drums kind of come in sparsely, but they give you a flavor of what's about to come. And then when that drop hits, it all kind of comes together and you see where that energy was leading. I like that a lot. And the strings, I feel like that's something unique to Immortal Technique. I feel like he has more songs with strings on them than like any other rapper that I've at least heard recently, but maybe there's others out there.
Called the Prophet Muhammad a terrorist.
And let's bring it back right before he jumps in.
Yeah. The voice of racism preaching the gospel is devilish, a fake church called the Prophet Muhammad a terrorist. Forgetting God is not religion, but a spiritual bond, and Jesus is the most quoted prophet in the Quran. They bombed innocent people trying to murder.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing about religion, right? Is how people get so pent up about it, but then half the books mention the other prophets from the other books. Then the religions just don't focus on those prophets. They, choose the one that they're going to focus more specifically. And then you got people yelling and screaming, mad at each other, misunderstanding each other. But it's all about that internal bond, man.
But a spiritual bond, and Jesus is the most quoted prophet in the Quran. They bombed innocent people trying to murder Saddam when you gave them those chemical weapons to go to war with Iran. This is the information that they hold back from Peter Jennings, cause Condoleezza Rice is just a new age Sally Hemings. I break it down with critical language and spiritual anguish. The Judas I hang with, the guilt of betraying Christ, who murdered him, stole his religion and painted him white. Translated in psychologically tainted philosophy, conservative political right-wing ideology glued together.
Damn, this one is a lot of big words, man, or at least a couple more than I'm used to from Immortal. Interesting changes to the beat. When it dropped out to like just the drums, there's like a very faint bass line under there. It's almost like invisible, but it's present down in the bottom. Strings come back in. Drums got a nice pattern to them. Bring it back just a little bit.
Christ, who murdered him, stole his religion and painted him white. Translated in psychological.
That is one of the weirdest things to me about Christianity, the whole white Jesus thing. Like, Jesus was definitely brown of some regard. Let's be real about it, right? I mean, maybe he wasn't the darkest guy, but he certainly wasn't white.
Tainted philosophy, conservative political right-wing ideology glued together sloppily. The blasphemy of a nation got my back to the wall, cause I'm facing assassination. Quantum Guantanamo Bay, federal incarceration. How could this be? The land of the free, home of the brave, indigenous Holocaust, and the home of the slaves. Corporate America dancing offbeat to the
Yeah.
rhythm.
Yep. Yep. Giving us the paradox of it, the land of the free, the home of the brave, when what's he talking about? The slaves, the horrible atrocities committed against indigenous people. And it's terrible, man. It's terrible what got us to this point. It's horrific looking back at it.
Incarceration, how could this be? The land of the free, home of the brave, indigenous Holocaust, and the home of the slaves. Corporate America dancing offbeat to the rhythm. You really think this country never sponsored terrorism? Human rights violations, we continue the saga. El Salvador and the Contras in Nicaragua. And on top of that, you still wanna take me to prison just cause I won't trade humanity for patriotism. It's like MK Ultra.
There we go, man. Won't trade humanity for patriotism. Won't ignore all of the horrible atrocities committed because of love for your country. Which, honestly, how much is there to love, man? They taking more from us every day. Come on. It's kind of crazy.
Still wanna take me to prison just cause I won't trade humanity for patriotism. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain, suggestive thinking, causing your perspective to change. They wanna rearrange the whole point of view of the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government want us to settle. A bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's
Interesting. Okay, the fourth branch of the government. He's talking about MK Ultra. I'm curious if he's talking about the fourth branch as in like being the CIA, because at least they carried out MK Ultra. Maybe it's much broader. Maybe he's talking about us as the fourth branch of government, the people, and that's why he's referring to his perspective and how it differs against what the government might like us to think like. Very interesting. Let's see where this goes.
your perspective to change? They want to rearrange the whole point of view of the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government want us to settle. A bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Read about the history of the place that we live in, and stop letting corporate news tell lies to your children. Flow like the blood of Abraham through the
Facts, and that news is bought, baby. That news is bought, man. They ain't showing us what we need to see. They showing us what they want us to see. It's all produced, edited, stitched together. Horrible.
history of the place that we live in, and stop letting corporate news tell lies to your children. Flow like the blood of Abraham through the Jews and the Arabs, broken apart like a woman's heart, abused in the marriage, the brink of holy war, bottled up like a miscarriage. Embedded correspondence don't tell the source of the tension, and they refuse to even mention European intervention or the massacres in Jenin. The innocent screams, US manufactured missiles and M16s, weapon contracts and corrupted American dreams, media censorship blocking out the video screen.
Woke up in Nightmarica, or who Tom McDonald might have said that. I don't listen to him at all anymore, and I don't miss it. No hate, but make whatever music you want to make. People will listen if they like it. But I prefer Immortal Technique for my conscious rap these days. Regardless, clean flows and everything, by the way. Clean production to the track. All the layers are clear and crisp. The changes in the beat, they're cool and they work. I personally don't know how I feel about the dropping out of the melody and having just the drums and the bass, especially with how faint the bass is. It's really just like the tiniest little bit of flavor down in the bottom. But it does work on the track. It's not bad. I just feel like there could be a little something extra there because it just kind of feels like we're dropping everything out. Like it'd be cooler to have a break with just like the drum stopping or something like that. I'm not sure.
US manufactured missiles and M16s, weapon contracts and corrupted American dreams, media censorship blocking out the video screens, a continent of oil kingdoms bought for a bargain. Democracy is just a word when the people are starving. The average citizen made to be blind to the reason. A desert full of genocide where the bodies are freezing, and the world doesn't believe that you're fighting for freedom, cause you fucked the Middle East and gave birth to a demon. It's open season with the CIA bugging my crib, trapped in the.
That's crazy. You said you fucked the Middle East and gave birth to a demon. Probably talking about all of the war and conflict that's gone on in the Middle East over the years. And then that giving rise to just even more reason for resentment and hate and all of that.
Fuck the Middle East and gave birth to a demon. It's open season with the CIA bugging my crib, trapped in a ghetto region like a Palestinian kid, where nobody gives a fuck whether you die or you live. I'm trying to give the truth, and I know the price is my life, but when I'm gone they'll sing a song about immortal technique, who beheaded the president and the princes and sheiks. You don't give a fuck about us. I can see through your facade like a fallen angel standing in the presence of God. Bitch niggas scared of the truth when it.
The layering works well on the track too, especially on the punches and throughout the track. Having that extra impact gives a little bit of that extra strength. And they're fairly strong for reinforcements. A lot of the times people just kind of sneak it in where you'll just like feel it while hearing that main layer. This is more like you can hear those layers all together.
Of God, bitch niggas scared of the truth when it looks at you hard. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain, suggestive thinking causing your perspective to change. They want to rearrange the whole point of view in the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government want us to settle, a bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Martial law is coming soon to the hood to kill yo while you hanging your flag out your project window. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And then we got kind of like an evolving chorus with that, because the first 4 bars were repeated earlier in the track. And I really thought this was just going to be a verse straight through, because, you know, it just seems like that's all the songs I've been listening to lately are straight verses, which are great. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. But that's a cool way to do it. Have the first 4 bars remain the same, change the next 4 bars. Maybe it's not even really considered a hook in his mind, just, you know, a little repetition inside of the verse. However, you could think about it so many different ways with the structure. But let's see where it goes, because it feels like we're about to get like a decent change coming, and we still got about a minute left.
Window, yeah. The fourth branch of the government, aka the media, seems to now have a retirement.
Now it all adds up. The fourth branch is the media, the news, all of the different outlets that now exist, you know. That is a great way to put it, man. The people who control the information, that disseminate the information, decide what information we get to see and hear. And like I was saying, they're not showing us what we need to know. They're showing us what they want us to know, to lead to a perspective that follows along with whatever values or ideals they're trying to promote.
Fourth branch of the government, aka the media, seems to now have a retirement plan for ex-military officials, as if their opinion was at all unbiased. A machine shouldn't speak for men, so shut the fuck up, you mindless drone. And you know it's serious when these same media outfits are spending millions of dollars on a PR campaign to try to convince you they're fair and balanced, when they're some of the most.
Facts, man. Don't be listening to the machine. Then calling him a drone after that was cool. Mindless, empty-headed, just part of the machine at that point. Very interesting, man. This is a cool track. And it's a cool thing to see him slow it down so much. Not that Immortal Technique has really ever been the fastest rapper, which you don't need to be. He's delivering a message.
to try to convince you they're fair and balanced when they're some of the most ignorant and racist people giving that type of mentality a safe haven. We act like we share in the spoils of war that they do. We die in wars. We don't get the contracts to make money off them afterwards. We don't get weapons contracts, nigga. We don't get cheap labor for our companies, nigga. We are cheap labor, nigga. Turn off the news and read, nigga.
Facts. We're the product. We are the product, y'all. But facts. He's spitting facts, man. You know, war, it's horrible for some places, but other places at the same time can make a whole bunch of money, get government contracts, weapons contracts, you name it. I'm sure there's a million different things and ways you can profit off of war. And it's sickening, honestly. All the death, the destruction, and the just I could go on, but Immortal Technique has said it all. He said it all here, man. Let's keep it fit. Let's finish this out.
Turn off the news and read, nigga. Read. Read. Read.
Cool. No, that was a cool trick, guys. That was the fourth branch from Immortal Technique. If I had anything really for the track, like it works well, it's cool. The bars are great, the knowledge is great, the mix is, clean. It all works. It's just such a long track to have the instrumental only be a loop and to give us such little separation. Obviously, it's much more about storytelling and explaining these issues and his perspective and understanding of what's going on in the world. And this is a great way to deliver that. But I think, just a little extra spice here and there. Maybe throw like a more clearly defined hook in there, change up the instrumental just a little bit. There's all these tiny little things you can do that just kind of help push that energy forward. And while this is a great track, it was definitely one of those tracks where like I was more trying to listen to it than being pulled into it, if that makes sense. But regardless, thank you to Zeltron for the suggestion. Keep coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to see more videos like this. Much love to everybody in the No Shoes gang, and I will see you all next time.